Mahā Pajāpati Gotamī Therī, Apadāna.
Buddha Padumotara, the conqueror who clearly saw all phenomena, the leader, was born 100,000 world cycles ago.
Then I was born in Hamsawati in a minister's family that was abounding in all sorts of benefits, rich, prosperous, and very wealthy. One day, I approached that bull among men together with my father and attended by a crowd of servant women. Seeing him like Wasawa, raining down the cloud of the doctrine, without taint, like the autumn sun resplendent with a network of rays, my mind was gladdened. And I heard his well-spoken words when that leader of men placed his aunt, who was a Bhikkhuni, in a foremost position. After hearing that, I gave a great gift of many requisites for 7 days to that unique one, the best of men, together with the order. Then, falling at his feet, I aspired to that position.
Then, in that great assembly, the best of seers said,
I shall praise the one who has fed the leader of the world and his order for 7 days. Hear my words. 100,000 word cycles from now, there will be reborn in the world the teacher who will be named Gotama, through his lineage, a descendant of the Okaka clan. At that time, there will be a disciple of the teacher named Gotamī, who will be an heir to the doctrine, a legitimate offspring of the doctrine. This one will be the aunt of the Buddha, a foster mother of his life, and she will obtain prominence for long standing among the Bhikkhunis.
I rejoiced when I heard that. Then throughout my life, I served the conqueror with the requisites. Then I died. I was reborn in the Tawatimsa Dewa realm, and I surpassed all others in the 10 attributes. Forms, sounds, smells, tastes, tangible objects, longevity, complexion, training, and fame. In this way, I excelled in authority. I was brilliant. I was the beloved queen of the king of the immortal there. I journeyed on in continued existences, moving on by the wind of past actions, and I was born during the realm of King Kasi in a servant village. Exactly 500 servants lived there at that time. I became the wife of the eldest one of them all. The 500 self-dependent ones, or Pacceka Buddhas, entered the village on their arms round. Seeing them, all the women and I were pleased. Forming a guild, all the women served them for 4 months and gave sets of triple robes. Then we journeyed on with our husbands. Then, passing away, we all went to the Tawatimsa realm. Now, in our final existence, I was born in the town of Devadaha. My father was Ajanasaka and my mother was Sulakana. Then I went to the home of Sudodana in Kapilawatu as his wife. The others were born in the Sakyan clan and came to the home of the Sakyans. I'm the most eminent of them all. I'm the foster mother of the conqueror. My son, having gone forth, became the Buddha, the leader. After that, I went forth with the 500 women. And together with those wise Sakyan women, I attained peace and happiness. Those who were our husbands in our previous birth, having done meritorious deeds together with us, being performers of the great doctrine, attained arahatship through the compassion of the Sublime One.
Once, the light of the world, the charioteer of men, was dwelling in the good hall of Kutagara in the great wood at Vesali. At that time, Bhikkhuni Mahā Gotamī, the aunt of the conqueror, lived there in the delightful town in a residence for bhikkhunis built there. With the 500 bhikkhunis who were free, being alone, she reflected thus in her mind.
I shall not be able to see the final quenching of the Buddha, or of the two chief disciples Sariputta and Mahamoggallana, or of Rahula, Ananda, or Nanda. Before giving up the life-forming elements and final peace, may I go to the protector of the world, the great sage, for permission.
The 500 bhikkhunis reflected in the same way. With Kema at their head, they reflected thus. At that time, there was an earthquake and thundering of the drum of the Devas. The Devatas in their own abodes were oppressed with grief. Lamenting very pitifully, their tears poured forth there. They went up to Gotamī with her friends the bhikkhunis. The bhikkhunis fell down headfirst at her feet and spoke these words.
O noble lady, sprinkled with drops of water, there you were alone. The earth together with its mountains trembled. The thundering of the drums of the Devas is to be heard. What does it mean, O Gotamī?
Then she explained everything, just as she had thought it over, and they all explained just as they had thought it over.
O noble lady, if acquiring final quenching is pleasing to you, with the Buddha's permission, devoutly we will all be quenched. We departed from home and birth together. So as friends we will go to quenching, the supreme place.
What shall I say concerning going to quenching?
Then all of them together left the bhikkhuni dwelling.
May the Devatas inhabiting the monastery of the Bhikkhunis forgive me. This is my last look at the Bhikkhunis' dwelling. What if I were to go to the unconditioned, where there is no old age, no death, no association with the unpleasant, nor separation from what is dear.
Hearing her words, those not free from passion, those legitimate heirs of the Sublime One, were afflicted by grief and lamented.
Alas, our merit is small. The dwelling of the Bhikkhunis has become empty without them. These legitimate offsprings of the conqueror, who are like stars at dawn, are not to be seen. Gotamī is going to quenching together with the 500 Bhikkhunis, just as the Ganges goes to the ocean with 500 rivers.
Seeing them going along the road, faithful women lay followers came out of their houses, fell down at their feet, and said thus,
Oh, you of great wealth, be reconciled with us. Do not abandon us without a protector. Do not be intent on being quenched.
Gotamī spoke a sweet speech in order to eliminate their grief.
Enough of your crying, children. Today is a time of joy for you. I have comprehended misery. Abandoning the cause of misery, cessation has been realized by me, and the path has been properly developed. I have attended on the teacher. I have done the Buddha's teaching. I have put down the heavy burden. Everything that leads to renewed existence has been rooted out. The arm for which one goes forth from the home to the homeless state, that aim has been attained by me. All bonds are destroyed. The Buddha and his doctrine remain undiminished. Now it is time for me to become quenched. Do not grieve for me, my children. Kondanya, Ananda, Nanda, etc., Rahula, and the conqueror remain. The order is happy and united. The sectarians have cut down their trees. The followers of the Okaka dynasty have risen up, crushing Mara. Children, is it not time now for me to be extinguished through quenching? That which I sought after for a long time is accomplished today. This is a time for beating the drum of joy. Children, why these tears? If you have any sympathy for me, and if you have any gratitude, then make a firm effort, all of you, for the continuation of the true doctrine. The fully awakened one gave women the going forth when I entreated him. Therefore, just as I would delight in it, so should you practice it.
Having urged them on in this way, at the head of the 500 Bhikkhunis, Gotamī went to the Buddha, paid homage to him, and spoke these words.
O Sublime One, I'm your mother, and you, O hero, are my father. O giver of the happiness of the true doctrine, O protector, I'm born of you, O Gotama. O Sublime One, this physical body of yours was raised by me. This blameless body of the doctrine of mine was raised by you. a short period, I gave you milk to drink to assuage your thirst. You gave me the milk of the doctrine to drink, peace for all time. O great sage, you are without debt, protecting us from bondage. Desirous of a child, women request to obtain such a son. Whoever was mother to kings such as Mandata, she was plunged into the sea of continued existences. You have made me cross over the ocean of continued existences, O Son. It is easy for women to obtain the title Chief Queen, Mother of the kind, but it is extremely difficult to obtain the title Mother of the Buddha. And that aspiration of mine, O great hero, has been fulfilled through you. Everything I aspired to, whether great or small, has been fulfilled by me. I wish to obtain final quenching, abandoning this body. Grant me permission, O hero, O ender of misery, O leader. Stretch forth your feet, soft as a lotus, and covered with the marks of wheels, hooks, and banners. I will make obeisance to you, best of sons. Make your body have the appearance of mask of gold. Having made it plain, your body is seen by me. I will go to peace, O leader.
Then the conqueror caused his aunt to see his body possessed of the 32 marks, adorned and very radiant, like the newly risen sun appearing from a dense cloud. Then she fell down headfirst at the soles of his feet, marked with the wheel that had the radiance of a new sun, and that was like a lotus in blossom.
I bow down to the Son of Men, the banner of the family of the sun. I shall not see you again. I shall not see your final death. O chief of the world, we women are thought to perform all sorts of bad deeds. If there is any fault in me, may you forgive me, O compassionate one. I requested the going forth for women again and again. If there was any fault in that, may you forgive me, O bull among men. O hero, the Bhikkhunis were instructed by me with your permission. If there is any bad guidance there, may you forgive me, O forgiving Lord.
Indeed, what is to be dug up in an existence that was adorned with good virtues, free from harm? What answer shall I give you as you are going to quenching? My order of bhikkhus is completely pure, fit to escape from this world, seeing the elements of loss go out like the markings on the moon at dawn.
Then the other bhikkhunis, like the stars following the moon around Sumeru while keeping it to the right, after falling down at the feet of the best of conquerors, stood there looking at his face.
My eye has never been satisfied before with the sight of you, nor my ear with your speech. May my whole mind obtain that unique satisfaction through the flavor of the doctrine. When you roar in the assembly, removing the arrogance of those holding other views, those who see you and hear your speech are fortunate, O bull among men. Those who bow down before your beautiful feet with long toes, copper-colored nails, and projecting heels are fortunate, O bearer of virtues. Those who hear your words, which are sweet, joyous, destructive of faults, and beneficial, are fortunate, O best of men. I am fortunate, O great hero, intent on worshipping your feet. I have crossed over the wilderness of continued existence through the good speech of the glorious one.
Then Gotamī obtained permission from the order of bhikkhus, devoutly paid homage to Rahula, Ananda, and Nanda, and said this:
I am disgusted with this body, which is like a snake hole, the abode of disease, a mass of misery, the haunt of old age and death, full of various kinds of impurity, dependent on others without impulse. Therefore, I wish to be quenched. Give me permission, O son.
Nanda, Rahula, and Bhada, who were free from grief without taints, firm as mountains standing, reflected on the nature of phenomena.
Woe be to the conditioned state, which is unsteady, without substance, like a plantain trunk, like a deceptive mirage, transitory, not lasting. Indeed, when the conqueror's aunt, the one who nourished the Buddha, Gotamī, is going to her end, then all conditioned states are impermanent.
And Ananda, who was still a trainer and attached to the conqueror, was afflicted by grief. With tears flowing, he lamented here piteously.
Alas, Gotamī is going to attain peace. Surely the Buddha will go to quenching soon, like a fire without fuel.
As he was lamenting in this way, Gotamī said to Ananda,
You whose knowledge is like the deep ocean, you who are devoted to serving the Buddha, do not be intent of grieving. A time of joy has arrived, my son. Through you, my son, I reached quenching as my refuge. You requested our father and obtained permission for us to go forth. Do not lose your mind, my son. Your effort has borne fruit. That which has not been seen by those in the past, even the teachers of the sectarians, that state has been experienced by very young 7-year-old girls. O protector of the Buddha's teaching, this is my last look at you. I'm going, my son, there where, having gone, one is not to be seen. One day, while teaching the doctrine, the supreme leader of the world sneezed. Then, out of sympathy, I spoke a word of good wishes. May you live long, great hero. May you stay for an eon, O great sage. May you be without old age and death for the sake of all the world. After I spoke in this manner, the Buddha said this to me.
Buddhas are not to be praised in the way you pay homage to me, Gotamī.
Then how is homage paid to the perfect ones, O omniscient one? And how is homage not to be paid to Buddhas? Please reveal to me the answer to what has been asked.
See the disciples all together, putting forth energy, resolute, always with strong effort. This is homage to the Buddhas.
Then I went to the monastery, and while I was alone, I thought to myself, when I come to the end of this existence, the Protector will approve of the United Assembly. Indeed, I shall go to final quenching. May I not see the disaster of the Buddha's demise. Thinking thus, I saw the best of sages. I announced the time of my final quenching to the leader. Then he gave me permission.
Know that it is the right time, O Gotamī.
My defilements are burnt out. All future births are completely destroyed. Having severed my bonds like an elephant, I live without chains. Welcome indeed was the presence of the best of Buddhas to me. I have attained the 3 true knowledges. I have done the Buddha's teaching. The 4 discriminations and also the 8 liberations are mine. I have realized the 6 direct knowledges. I have done the Buddha's teaching.
O Gotamī, in order to overcome their wrong views, show your supernormal powers to the young Wena, who comprehended the doctrine, but who have become confused.
Then Gotamī fell down before the fully awakened one, and she flew up into the sky and showed many supernormal powers with the Buddha's permission. Having been one, she became many, and having been many, she became one. She appeared and vanished. She went through a wall as if going through the sky without any obstacle. She plunged into the earth. She went on the water as if it were dry land without sinking. She went cross-legged through the sky like a bird. Then she brought her body under her control as far as the Brahma abode. She made Mount Sumeru into a stick and turned over the great earth with its roots. She made it into a sunshade. Then, carrying it, she walked up and down the sky. Then she made the world full of smoke and full of garlands of flames, like the time when the 6 suns arise at the end of an age. In one fist, she grasped the large rocks in the river of the Muchalinda lake at the foot of Mount Meru like they were all mustard seeds. With the tip of her finger, she covered the sun and the moon. She wore 1,000 suns and moons like a garland. She carried the waters of the 4 great oceans in one hand and rained them forth like the great rain produced by the rain cloud at the end of an age. She made a wheel-turning monarch and his retinue appear on the surface of the sky. She showed a Garuda, an elephant, and a roaring lion. Being one, she created an immeasurable group of Bhikkhunis. Then she made them disappear, and being one again, she said to the sage,
Great hero, your aunt has accomplished your teachings, has arrived at her goal. I pay homage at your feet, O one with vision.
After showing these various sorts of supernormal powers, she descended from the surface of the sky. She paid homage to the light of the world and sat down on one side.
O great sage, it is 120 years since my birth. That is long enough, O hero. I shall be quenched, O leader.
Then all the assembly was very astonished. They paid respects with raised hands together and asked,
Noble lady, how did this unequal exertion of supernormal powers come about?
Then the other Bhikkhunis rose up to the surface of the sky, met there like stars, and blazed forth with great supernatural powers. They showed many supernormal powers, just as a well-trained smith makes gold malleable for shaping. And then they exhibited many different marvels. They delighted the noble speaker, the sage, with his retinue. They came down from the sky and paid homage to the best of seers. Then, with permission of the best of men, they sat down in appropriate places.
O Gotamī, you have been sympathetic to us all for a long time. Established through your meritorious deed, we have reached the annihilation of our taints. Our defilements are burnt out. All birds are completely destroyed. Having severed our bones like an elephant, we live without taints.
Welcome indeed with the presence of the best of Buddhas to me. We have attained the 3 true knowledges. We have done the Buddha's teaching.
The 4 discriminations and also the 8 liberations are ours. We have realized the 6 direct knowledges. We have done the Buddha's teaching.
We have mastery of the supernormal powers. By means of the divine ear, we have mastery of the knowledge of mind, of the state of mind of others. O great sage!
We know our previous lives. Our divine eye has been purified. All of our taints are consumed. Now there is not renewed existence.
And truly, O great hero, in your presence, knowledge has arisen in us, and the comprehension of meaning, states, and etymology is known.
We have attended on you with thoughts of loving kindness, O leader. Permit us all quenching, O great sage.
What shall I say, since you say, we will be quenched. And now you should do what you think it is time for.
Then Gotamī and the other Bhikkhunis paid homage to the conqueror, and they arose from their seats and returned to their monastery. Together with a group of people, the supreme leader of the world, the hero, accompanied his aunt as far as the gateway of the city. There, Gotamī fell down at the feet of the kinsman of the world, together with all the others. This was the last veneration at his feet.
This is our last glimpse of the protector of the world. We shall not see your face that looks like ambrosia again.
My veneration, O hero, will not touch your feet that are so soft, O chief of the world. Today, I go to final peace.
What is material form to you, having seen phenomena as they are? All of this is conditioned, comfortless, transitory.
She went together with them into their own Bhikkhuni monastery, and she sat in the best seat, bending one leg in a half cross-legged position. So those food worshippers approached. Then the women followers there, those attached to the teachings of the Buddha, hearing her news, approached to pay homage at her feet. Beating themselves on the breast with their hands, afflicted by grief, they fell to the ground like vines with their roots cut off, lamenting piteously with a loud sound.
O protector who gives us refuge, do not abandon us and go to final peace. We all fall down headfirst and entreat you.
Enough of your dejection, my children. That is giving in to the snares of Mara. Everything is impermanent, conditioned, ends in separation, and is unstable.
Then she sent them away, and she entered the excellent first absorption state, and the second, third, and fourth. And then she entered one after another the sphere of infinite space, the sphere of infinite consciousness, the sphere of nothingness, the sphere of neither perception nor non-perception. Then Gotamī entered the absorption states in reverse order, down to the first and back up to the fourth. When she arose from that, she was quenched like the flame of a lamp without taints, and there was a great earthquake, and lightning fell from the sky. Drums rolled, devatas lamented. A shower of flowers rained down from the sky on the earth. Meru, the king of mountains, shook like an actor on a stage downcast with grief, and the ocean roared. The Devas, Nagas, Asuras, and Brahmas were deeply moved at that moment. They lamented.
Indeed, formations are impermanent, just as this woman is dispersed. These who carry out the Buddha's teachings and who surrounded Gotamī, they are all quenched like the flame of a lamp without fuel.
Alas, ties end in separation. Alas,
all conditioned states are impermanent. Alas, life ends in destruction.
Then the Devas and Brahmas did what conforms to common practice and the proper time, and approached the best of seers. Then the teacher addressed Ananda, the ocean of learning.
Go, Ananda. Announce my mother's final piece to the bhikkhus.
Then Ananda, with eyes full of tears, said in a broken voice,
May the bhikkhus assemble. Those who are in the east, south, west, and north, those who are in the vicinity, let the bhikkhus, the legitimate heirs of the Sublime One, hear this speech. This one who brought up the sage's final material body, making a great effort, Gotamī, she has gone to peace like the stars at sunrise. Putting aside concepts, the Buddha's mother has gone to the unequaled, the realm where even the one with the 5 eyes, the leader, cannot see her. Whoever has faith in the Sublime One, and whoever is dear to the great sage, let him, that legitimate offspring of the Sublime One, pay honor to the Buddha's mother.
Bhikkhus who heard him came, even those standing a very long way off, some by the power of the Buddha, some through being skilled in supernormal powers. They placed the couch on which Gotamī had slept in a beautiful, delightful, splendid pinnacled building, all made of gold. The 4 guardians of the world carried it on their shoulders. The other devas, Sakha, etc., were united at the pinnacled building. In all, there were 500 pinnacled buildings that were the color of the autumn sun, for they had been made by Visakama, Deva of the Tawatimsa realm, who is the architect of the Devas. All the 500 bhikkhunis were laid on their couches and mounted on the shoulders of the Devas, who went out in due order. The surface of the sky was completely covered with a canopy made of gold that was marked with the sun and moon together with the stars. Many flags were raised. Coverings of flowers were spread out. Lotuses descended from the sky, and a flower rose from the earth. The sun and moon were to be seen, and the stars blazed forth. Like the moon, the sun did not scorch, even though it had gone to the middle of the sky. The Devas honored them with celestial perfumes, fragrant garlands, instrumental music, dancing and singing. Then, according to their ability and their means, the Nagas and Asuras and Brahmas honored the Buddha's mother, who was quenched as she was taken out. All of those being taken out first, those legitimate offsprings of the Sublime One were quenched. And Gotamī, the honored one who nourished the Buddha, was taken out afterwards. In front, there were the Devas and men, together with the Nagas, Asuras, and Brahmas. In back were the disciples with the Buddha, who went to honor his mother. The final quenching of the Buddha was not the equal of the final quenching of Gotamī. Hers was a much more wonderful occasion. The Buddha did not prepare the bhikkhus for the Buddha's quenching the way the Buddha and Sariputta, etc. did for the quenching of Gotamī. They made pyres consisting of all sorts of perfume, and sweet-smelling powder was scattered there where they were cremated. Except for the bones, all the remaining parts were burned. And then Ananda said the words that produced a profound stirring.
Gotamī has gone to her end. This is the appointed place her body was burned. It will not be long before the final quenching of the Buddha.
Then Ananda, urged by the Buddha, put the relics of Gotamī in a bowl and gave it to the protector. The best of sages took them in his hand and said,
just as a large tree with hardwood that is standing up could fall down, because even the greatest mass possesses the characteristics of impermanence. Gotamī of the order of Bhikkhunis is quenched. Oh, the marvel when my mother was quenched. There is no grief or lamentation for her bodily remains. Others should not grieve for her. One who has gone beyond the ocean of continued existence, who avoided intense heat, who has become cool, who is well quenched. She was wise, of great wisdom, and also of extensive wisdom. Bear in mind, bhikkhus, that she was foremost in long-standing among the bhikkhunis. And Gotamī had mastery of the supernormal powers. By means of the divine ear element, she had mastery of the knowledge of the penetration of minds. She knew her previous lives. Her divine eye was purified, or her taints were consumed. Now there is no renewed existence. And she also had comprehension of meaning, states, and language. Her knowledge was pure. Therefore, she is not to be grieved for. Like a spark of fire from a sledgehammer that fades away and whose destination is not known, so too, the destination of those who are well liberated, who have crossed over the flood of the tides of sensual pleasures, who have reached unshakable happiness, cannot be pointed out. Therefore, be refugees to yourselves, develop the 7 constituents of awakening through the domain of the foundations of mindfulness, and you will put an end to misery.
Thus these verses of Mahā Pajāpati Gotamī were spoken.
Jayanto bodhiya mule sakyanang nandivandano ewang tuang vijayo hi jayasu jaya manggale aparajita palang kesi se pathavi poakare abhiseke samba buddhanang anggampanto pamuadati sunangkatang sumanggalang supabatang suhuntitang sukhano sumuhunto cha suyithang Brahmacarisu padak kinang kaya kamang waca kamang padang kinang manoa kamang paniyadiyate padang kina padak kinani katawana labhantate padang kini